Hey there everybody, it's Tori with Sword Guy Builds, and today I'm going to be showing you how I add in strands instead of dropping them when I do an English I on a whip. I certainly was better stuff.
Okay, so I don't want to get too crazy with information and drag out the video like I usually do. I just want to quickly talk about where I'm going to be adding in these strands. So of course we're going to be working from the narrow end to the fat end. My first addition is going to be somewhere around here. That's going to go from 4 to 6. And then, okay, this is just one strand. Right here, this is 2 strands. And right here, where it goes from 2 to 3, in this space, we're going to add from 6 to 8. Oh man, the contrast is really low here. Let me see if I can do that. There we go. Okay, so here where we go from the twist to 4 plat to 6 plat right here, that's going to be another addition. Little melted spots here. That's my road marker. I'm gonna add my strands somewhere within this space. Okay, and that's going to 10 plat. Okay, another little melted portion. That's going to be from 10 to 12. Then right here, another little melted area. That's going to be from 12 to 14. And then, there we go. Here, over here, that's going to be from 14 to 16, going over the rest of the thong here. So that being said, we can start preparing our first couple of strands. This will be for our 4 plat. So this is going to be like a really colorful whip. It's for the wife of a buddy of mine and returning client, and he says that she's a girly girl, just wants this thing super colorful. These were the colors that she picked out, and she just wants it very vibrant. So I'm going to do my best to deliver on that. My last 4 strands are going to be pink and black, and I figure she said that she wants it to have a lot of color all the way down the thong, so I'm going to terminate it in pink. And I think the fall is probably going to be pink, and then the replacement falls that I include also, they're probably going to be the other 2 colors. I think that'll be a nice touch that they'll probably appreciate. So first task, going to ditch my black and find the center of my pink. And what we're going to do, right here, what we're going to do is, is lead the black through the end of the pink. The reason I'm doing this video right now in this way is that, like, I wanted to wait to do a lot of this stuff until I got my workspace in order, but if y'all don't know me, that's not really gonna happen. So, I just decided it would be better to, you just gotta do it. You gotta do it. Okay, so we're going to feed this end into the needle, and when, jeez, there goes my, there we go, perfect. So we're going to take this, and yikes, and we're going to put it in here. This needle is roughly 2 inches. What I've been doing lately is passing it through up until about there, and that gives me a pretty good tight eye for this. Yeah, that should be, yeah, that'll be pretty good. That'll give us a good tight eye. And so you lead it in, then you lead it out, okay? And then we'll just draw this through until we've got equal length on each side. This whip is going to be, well, it's got roughly a, oh geez, I already pulled it out too much. It's got roughly a 5.5 foot thong. So these strands are, I used 10 feet. You know, just to make sure that I would have enough. Okay, so there is the beginning of our English eye. So what I've got over here is a 3/8 aluminum dowel, and that's going to be my my gauge for the opening of this eye. So I just wrap it around like that, and we're ready to go. We grab the thong. Now, if I wanted to, I could draw my strands like that, and that would put us into a striped pattern, all the color on the right, all the black on the left. But what I'm going to do, I'm going for chevrons here, basic pattern, just something exciting and colorful. So all we have to do is cross these two strands. Okay. This one here is going over, so the one next to it will be the first that we do. Ooh, wow. I know I always complain about the camera, but God help me, that is not easy. Okay. Pull this fairly tight to start. Don't get like too crazy with it, but you do want it to have a fair amount of tension, of course. So we've got the tail of the belly still coming up through here, and that's just to make sure that when we do go to pull it tight, we can control exactly where it stops. And I'm going to have it right there at the mouth of this of the overlay. And I guess I'll do that right now. So grab your belly, sort of pack this up, and just pull it in till it just barely disappears. Perfect. Okay. So now we can keep going, and I'm going to go for a little while until the next the first edition. So I just got to the point where I'm going to add these next two strands, and the way that I prepare them is I cut them this way. Oof, I cut them this way at as extreme an angle as I can get. All right. And despite what anybody tells you, cutting your individual strands on a taper like this is not to help the taper of the whip. It will do zero things for the taper of the whip. What it is doing is making it so that you don't have a sharp step where that strand gets introduced, you know? If you kind of shave it off this way, it's got, you know, maybe two laces over it that can hide it, where if it's just a flat cut, you know, it's the entire melted end is hiding under one strand, and it just might it's gonna be a little bit more noticeable. If you're really good, it probably won't be noticeable anyway, but I mean, it's just something to think about. Anyway, so cut them thus, taper them off a little bit so that they will hide better. So what we're going to do, and I have to worry about this because this is a chevron pattern. I wouldn't have to worry about it if it were a striped pattern, you know, all pink, all black. But because this is a chevron pattern, we're going to add first to the side that acts first, okay? So in this pattern, I'm going to call on this pink first, then this one. That means that this one, that is the side that I need to add to. So I'm going to lay this over the top, okay? Just like if you were dropping it into the center as you're plaiting, you know, fat to thin. Okay, sort of pin this with your thumb here. And I go with, for these first editions, you have to be a little bit more careful that they don't show, because, you know, at this point it's 4 strands covering 2, which is, it's tough. It's actually fine generally, but I mean, it's just hard to get them to cover reliably at those proportions. But by the time we get it to like 5/2 or whatever, I mean it should be better. Okay, so here I've got 2, 4, 6 where it's that are locking it down, and what we're going to do is tighten this strand, pull it all the way under till I can't see it, and be very, very gentle with this, because far too many times I've you know, gotten careless and just pull it right out. That is hands down the most frustrating feeling, especially when you get, you know, 5 feet into your thong and you just start pulling your strands out, and it's like, ugh, very frustrating. Okay, so this one coming to the right, this one is going to go off to the left, and we will continue with this. Right here, this is where our hiding comes in. We're going to hide this addition right here. So these 2 strands, they're going to travel together. Okay, going to come under those, and that will make it so that this black one hides where the blue one comes in. Okay, so just continue like that, and now our right side is under 2/1, and now we can see that the next strand that we're going to work is going to be our newly added blue one. So we're going to introduce the other one to the other side right here, okay? And this will make it so that, so we can already see this one is coming off to the left, like we've just plaited it. Pull this one very, very gently tight, then pull it around, under 1/2. Okay. So now, under 2/1, under 1/2. Yeah, and that'll be really good. I will get these off my neck. Oh golly. Straighten these out, because when I'm adding these, they really get tangled fast. And really make sure that you're pulling these tight. Like, I'm not joking around when I say pull them tight. Especially if you're not waxing your whip, you must pull this tight. Okay? So this is our newest blue strand. Very, very gently. Okay, I already felt it move up in here, so that's as tight as I'm going to pull it. Pull it back around, blue, and then this one, blue, and let's see, we have pink, black, blue, and over here we have pink, black, blue, and that is perfect. That is what we're looking for. So I'm going to keep going just until I get back to the blue on my left and tighten that one down because yikes, they're really, I cannot stress this enough. I would probably still pull this one out if I weren't being careful. So just gentle tugs. This one is pretty well locked in now. Okay, so we've got our perfect integration here. I'm going to keep going and come back when we go from 6 to 8. All right, so here we are about to add from 6 to 8. You can see my where my twist starts here. That means it's going from 2 strands to 3. So I know that by this point, it has to already be 8 plat. So the way that I gauge where I need to add the strand, so we can see that one sequence, let's say it's it is as long as my finger is wide. So we need to find 3 of those lengths. So let's see, 1, 2, 3. We're kind of close, but those will probably be fine. So what we're going to do, I've got my other strands, my new ones already prepped here in the same way as I prepped the other ones. We need to find, okay, this side here. Oh, there we go. This side here, where it's under 1/2, that is the side that we have to do first. If we do that one first, we won't really have to worry about doing anything special for the other side. But this is the one that we have to worry about. This is the side that's going to take special treatment. So we're going to take our new strand and yes, align it here. And okay, so I want this black one to make a big fat black line with the other. All my black is going to be together. So I need it to go with these other black ones. That means that when I finally integrate it, I have to put it down right before I start working other black strands. And if that doesn't make sense, it should make sense by the time I get through saying these things that I am saying right now to you, my friends and viewers. Yeah, there we go. Okay, so we've got 2, 4, 6. That should really be enough. And we've got to our black ones here. I want this one set up with them. I need to integrate it now. It's going to the left. I'm going to pull this just until it disappears. There we go. And then immediately lay my other one. There we go. Cool, great. Okay. Under 2/1. And so this is important. Got the new strand right here. And still under 1 and over the rest, okay? We need these 2 strands paired right up until they get like plaited separately, okay? There we go. So now, yes, we've got these 2 strands together. Now we go under 2/2. Okay, and now we can see that they are coming out of the same spot, and that's going to let this pink one hide where this black one starts. There we go. So this top black one here, that is the one, it's the new one that we just introduced. So we're going to introduce the other one to the other side. Yeah, there we go. Just remember that if you want like colors in one spot, when you're adding them, they have to come in right before the color that you're trying to right before their mates, you know? Okay. Gently, gently, gently pull this tight. Okay. And another 2/2. Get this from around my neck. Sweet. I'm going to untangle these. I'm not going to make my time restraint for this video. This is going to be a long video. Alright, so we're just continuing like normal here. You can see all our black is together, and that's perfect. And that's exactly what we want to see. Okay, very, very careful. I know that, yes, you can see this one here is right here. This is the one that we just added, which is right because we added it in just before the other black one, right? So very gently, very, very gently, oh goodness, pull it tight, and around the back. Yes, perfect. The other one has set, and we are just getting to our 3-part twist. And you can continue like normal until you're sure that that your new strands are set, you know? I usually, after that initial introduction where I have to very gently pull it tight, I wait one more sequence to right here and give it just very gentle tugs, and that'll keep it set. Okay, so this is good, and we can see that we already have blue, pink, double black. Awesome. I'm going to keep going until, yeah, about here. And then we will go from 8 to 10. Okay, we've got my neck strands prepped, angled off, and we're going to add to 10 by this point. And we've got about 1, 2, 3 sequence spaces, you know. This should be very good. So my plan for this is to have solid black and then pink, blue, pink. That means I need my pink to be introduced here right before the blue. So this blue one is going to go first. So I need to add to this side first, to the right side. I'm gonna just plait through one sequence. Make sure that make sure this gets tightly locked down. You don't have to do only one sequence over your added strands. Arguably, it'd be in your best interest to do more than that. The only reason I do it this way is that it's just easier for me to do the math on it. Like if you wanted it to be under, like, this is an 8 plat, if you wanted it to be under 10 or 12 strands, you know, you'd have to do the math. Okay, like 1.5 times 3, and it just gets sort of messy. So I just do it this way. Anyway, so this is where this one is going to get added in. Gently, 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 just so it just barely disappears. Perfect. Okay, and then off to the right side. Okay. Next one immediately in the new one's place. Ugh, there we go. Under 2 over the rest. Under 2 over 2. Okay, and here, these 2 strands, we need them to go together. So this one here will go under 1, under both of these, because they're behaving like 1. Okay, and then over 2. If that doesn't make sense, it's you'll understand if you do it a couple times. It's not like a complicated idea, but at least for me, it did take some getting used to, you know. Let's see. Yes, so we're about to do our new pink. So this one here is getting added in right now, very, very gently. That's pretty well under there. I usually just tug it until I just barely feel it start to move under the plait. And that gives me the assurance that it's securely in place. Just keep going until, yikes, until the new ones come back around, so that we can make sure that they are securely set in place. Gently, gently, gently. Yeah, that should be good. And then this one should already be set. All right, so we got pink, black, pink, blue. Perfect. I'm gonna keep going. See you back when you go from 10 to 12. Alrighty, so my next addition, has to come in before this point here. So double check. This is roughly thumb width. So we'll say 1, 2, 3. That should be good. Sweet. So, okay, and this is why I'm adding it in the way that I am, so that I have the pink making little walls where my blue and my green are going to go, and then fat black in between. So, and you'll pick up on this pattern, but first time we added right then left, then we added left then right. That last time we added right then left. This time we add left then right. So the side here with the larger over, okay, this one is under 3 over 2. This one is under 2 over 3. The one with the larger over, that's the one that you add first. So right here in the middle, and we will just pull this through till we get to that part. And I always have to make sure, yes, I always have to make sure that I'm not, oh, I'm dropping stuff. And make sure that you're keeping your strands straight, like that you're not confusing which strands you're integrating. Man, with this contrast, that's why I drape these around my neck, so that I can keep straight which ones I'm working on. You know, man, but through this camera they sure do blend in. but just take measures to ensure that you don't inadvertently start plaiting your added strand in instead of a different strand, you know? How'd that happen? That's a pain in the butt. That's frustrating. Almost there. Okay. So now, very, very gently pull it under those, and it goes off to the left. Now my other strand goes right up here into that same spot. And remember to keep your new strands, keep them separate somehow from the others, just so that you don't get confused, because I mean it happens. We're just going to go through until we get to where we need to be, but under 2, and until we get to this one, we're going to do over 4. Under 3 over 2. There we go. Okay, now this is our new strand, and it needs to follow this pink one so that it can get hidden. So now we go under 3 over 3. Cool. Keep those separate. Under 3 over 3. Almost there. So now we're about to work in our first new strand. So, you want to make sure that these are sitting flat. Don't let them sit up straight. Like that one would have made a bulge. Okay, pull that one off here. Very gently. Yeah, until you just barely feel it move. And we can also see that it's coming under the same strand that the pink one is. So that'll prevent some gaps. Forgot what I was doing. Okay, there we go. Tight. And bring that over. Keep going until we get to the other black one, the one on the right. And you always have to, with chevron patterns, chevron arrangements, you have to be conscious of how many plaiting sequences you have between additions. You have to add them in like within one sequence of each other, whether the first one comes at the end of the previous sequence and the next one comes in at the beginning of the next sequence, or whether you do them like at the same time. You know, they have to be within one sequence of each other, otherwise your pattern is going to shift and you'll lose it, and it'll look garbagey. You don't have to worry about that in the slightest if you're doing a striped pattern. Like if I did all my colors on the left and all my black on the right, I wouldn't have to worry about that. If I was doing all pink and all black, I wouldn't have to worry about it. Just carrying this through until I get my other new black one to the top. Gently. Yes. Good. Nice. Third adjective. I've got about 3 sequences worth of space until I need to have these new strands integrated. And now, let's see, I want the green with the blue between pink. So I'm just going to put it in here before the blue. Put it in. And we're gonna go until that that same position comes up, and that's going to, geez, and that's going to ensure that we've got 12 strands plaited over over our new strand. Okay, here it is. So, as usual, make sure this doesn't twist on you and sit up in a weird way. There we go. Just till it disappears, let it hang, and introduce the other one. Sweet. Yes. Indeed. And of course, we will just keep going. There. Make very sure that you're keeping your positioning right. Otherwise, that's really going to sabotage you in the end. If you let it lapse, you're gonna mess up that pattern. Okay, here we go. Make sure that I let myself lose track. Here we go. So this is coming in right after this pink. Section those off together. Okay. And now the pink will hide the green. And after we do this pink one, first, carefully integrate the green one, all right? And then, as usual, gently, gently. Yes, already feel that one starting to move under there. I'm gonna have to be careful with that. And continue. Okay, here it is. Our second new green one. Gently, very gently. That one is set a little better than the first one was. Carefully. Yes, awesome. Okay, and at this point, you know the drill. We're just going to continue on until we're sure that, rather we're going to continue on carefully until we know for sure that both of our new strands are set very stably. And after that, we can just sort of plait willy-nilly all over the place. No one cares. So let's continue on, and I will meet up with you when I'm about to add to 16. Okay, here we are ready to add our last 2 black strands, and that pattern is coming out clean. Okay. This is why you really have to pay attention to where you're adding your strands in per side, you know. I have this order because of adding them in like right before particular strands, you know. And I mean, before is my reference point. You might even decide, okay, after this one, you know. I just think about it, okay, before this one, and all the chevrons meet up with each other because I'm adding them in within one sequence of each other. Anyway, here we go. So I want this black one to meet up with the other black ones. So I need to add it in right now before all the other black ones, or, you know, after all the colors, like whatever you want. And we're going to do the left first, because this is the one where it's going under 3 and then over 4. It's going over more strands. So here we go. It's gonna quickly get to the crucial moment. Here we go. Carefully, just till it disappears. Perfect. Got the other one here immediately into its place. Ugh. Yes. Indeed. There we go. Okay, and again, just going real quickly until... Really be careful keeping these straight. This one here, that's the new one. Under 3, over 5 for now. Right up until it passes that center point. And again, under 3, over 5. Here we go. So our new strand right here, pair that off with this pink one. All right. Now under 4 over 4. Okay, here we go. Got our pink, our new black one, Gentle, 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 gentle. There. And actually, should have done this first, but it doesn't really matter. Make sure it's hidden. Okay, there we go. And then at this point, when this one gets all the way up here, same thing, gentle, gentle, pull it around, but at that point they should both be set up fully. All right, so it's all finished. All I've done is brought it all the way to the end, and then I lashed it down, pulled each strand tight, cut them, melted them, and then I gave this a roll. This one is getting a wooden handle, so I stopped them, the bellies square there, so that they'll meet right up with my handle. But okay, so this is whether it was the face that we were looking at or the underside. It's not the face where our drops will show up. So let's see if we can find them. Okay, it looks like right here. That's where we added a black strand, and you can tell that barely shows up, and it does not show up over here. So that's awesome. Other one will be on this side. Here it is. Okay, and that one also is very clean. What I look to eliminate when I do this is gaps. Above anything else, I want to eliminate gaps, and by having them meet like that under the same strand, that's what eliminates gaps. Let's see if we can find the next one. Yeah. Was it the green that I? Yeah, I guess it was. So this is another one. Pretty clean looking. And that means that the other one is right here. Also very clean looking. We don't have any gaps showing up. That's pretty nice. Let's see. Black ones adding in somewhere around. Sorry about the blurriness. There we go. Okay. There's the addition of a black strand. Looking good. And there we go. There's the other one. Still looks very clean. I'm not going to bore you with the rest, I guess, but there we go. So that is this done. Just for kicks, yes, I will come back after I've made the handle. Here we go, after a fair amount of tribulation making up this handle. I finally got a design that I like and that worked, and I hit it with some of this metallic silver paint as per the preference of my customer. Hit it with some polyurethane, and then I was told that they want like a bunch of color, you know, so I made up this pineapple knot using 3 colors. I'm realizing now there's a more technically sound way to do this, and I might do that for, you know, if I ever try it again, but that is what I came up with this time, and I feel like they will really like it. Anyway, so this is our completed multicolor neon whip, which is pretty cool, and that is how you will do your English I editions. I hope this was very informative for you. I will see you next time. Thanks a bunch, guys.